What? Upper Blackrock Spire? What are they doing here? So check it out. This place has changed quite a bit. You come in immediately in Upper Blackrock. All right, not like it used to be where you pick your sides, which is pretty interesting, obviously, but whatever. Basically the first room is pretty rudimentary. Honestly, if there's two mechanics, okay, it's you see I marked the guy with the skull there. That mob is going to go activate these cannons. It does activate a few. These sentry cannons do a lot of damage. This is only normal, of course, right? So we're just taking a look through this, if you haven't surmised by now. But the sentry cannons do a lot, so you want to try to kill the female. I can't remember the name, but it's pretty obvious. It lights up the cannons. The other mechanic up here, you're going to see these wolves. The wolves, the pack with the wolves, are going to do this like frontal cleave. This comes back later in the instance as well, so make sure you're moving out of that. You'll see myself and the Death Knight not realize it at first. There it is. It's like looks like sand on the ground almost. It's just like a frontal swipe cleave type thing. It's going to do a lot of damage, put a bleed on you as well, if I remember correctly. But then it's pretty much just these room type packs. Okay, so we're just cutting a lot out here, but I am going to show you the next bit. Just like in Upper Blackrock of previous, you need to clear all these rooms in order to progress. So that's what we're going to do. There is the next pack coming here. Yeah, Leadbetter or whatever the fuck. I don't even know. It's something. Yeah, it's a female. It's a female. That's all I know. But anyway, she's going to go. And now here you go. See that ring? See that ring expanding? That ring is a banner that they put down. You see it aggro the mobs there. I did not notice this when we were doing this. Obvious when we're watching it back. But one of them puts that banner down. You just need to switch to it and kill it. It expands gradually over time. There it is again. See, I have it targeted now. I'm hovering over it at least, trying to figure out what's going on. If you don't kill that, it's going to expand and pull the whole room. All right. So unfortunately, that's where Diabolical meets his end. But that's the whole room. All right. So the front half of the instance not so bad. Okay. So next up we got the first boss room. All right. There's going to be these apprentices, Black Iron apprentices, channeling on this guy. They all pull in the beta, whatever. So I don't know if it's meant to be. It doesn't seem like it would be, but maybe they are meant to all pull. You kill them. You use large damaging abilities to reduce their health, preferably the AOE type. And that's what we do there. Now you're gonna go in here. You're gonna see all these things. I guess this guy's like creating the shield, and he's like, you know, shit like that. And they're like, you know, stuff like that. So you're just gonna click them, and they're no longer gonna do that. And then the boss will engage. All right, this is a pretty interesting encounter. Unfortunately, compared to the other bosses in this this dungeon, it's pretty lackluster. Obviously, first boss. What do you expect? First boss gotta be simple, right? So he's just gonna cast this damaging ability, which, you know, essentially just does damage to me. He's also you're gonna see eventually cast an AOE, which does damage to everybody, all 5 players, no matter where you are in the room. Here it is, right there. He's gonna be boom. Look at that. See that? And then he's gonna activate one of these things. Which, I mean, if he could do this, why wouldn't he just do it to them all? So there's one there. He's gonna activate it. Somebody's got to go get it. Looks like somebody is gonna go get it. Yeah, look at that. The Rep Pality, you know what I mean? He's just doing big plays. Now, unfortunately, something has aggroed the rest of the instance. I can't speculate as to what, but it's likely just a bug on the beta. So don't worry about this. This is not part of the fight. It's not meant to happen. It gets pretty dicey here, so I just kind of jump down, give him some time to run around. The other mechanic they do there, you see those spikes? Those spikes are going to actively push you away. Right, and there's that mechanic again. So the reason those two things couple poorly together is because he can put them next to them or on the ramp, and it's kind of difficult to get back up. But unfortunately, this footage is marred with this whole trash pulled stuff. This is serious trash. This is actual, like, you know, these are multiple pulls, and yeah, it's pretty dicey. But anyway, with that, I noticed that like that spike thing is kind of knocking you back. You see that? How crazy is that? Just pushing me around. Now watch this. Watch why this is a pain in the ass. I can't even get back up there. So I have to like go in from the other side and kind of sneak around it. There you go. So anyway, yeah, the boss will hit you no matter where you are. So I don't, like, he can't be moved from this platform, I'd imagine, which I guess is kind of weird. But now as the fight progresses, he's going to do more. So it looks like there's like 3 this time. So we're going to all have to make an effort to get out there. I think I have to go all the way back around these spikes. Look at this. Look how annoying this is. Those silly spikes. You'd think they would have learned their lesson from BWL, but nope, they're back again. So that's it. Just going to use more damaging abilities to reduce the boss's health. This time maybe an Executor too. And then the boss falls over. Pretty straightforward first encounter, especially without the ads. This is a really, really, really simple fight. All right, in this next part, you're going to see me fooling around like the clown I am. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the mess I'm causing. Oh, man, I'm just running right into the spike. Look at that. It's pushing me around. But anyway, yeah, so here we go. The next packs are pretty straightforward. There's going to be a large Draconoid construct and two, like, orcs, basically. All right, the two orcs are going to cast. They need to be interrupted. It's not a good thing. Let's put it this way. Oh, that's diabolical there, jeez. But anyway, yeah, the big Draconoid is going to do this frontal cleave. Looks like he actually DC'd there, so that's not his fault. But anyway, oh, LUA, look at this, the beta, working as intended. So yeah, the Draconoids, that frontal cleave, just kind of kill them first if you can. The other two are going to get kind of cleaved down. You'll see the damage we're doing to the Draconoids. It's pretty high, but he's got a lot of health. So the other two are kind of just getting splashed down from the AoE we have. It's pretty straightforward in terms of, you know, the mechanics on this trash. The reason I'm talking about it is because, at least on the beta, the trash does actually get pulled with the boss. So this will give you a good representative of how much damage you actually need to put in, how much time you actually need to put into each of these mobs. And this is only normal. Obviously scaled down a bit. 660 is what we're at. 600 is what we're in the dungeon. But yeah, so these alchemists are gonna actually, it might be the engineer, I don't know, one of them channels something on you and it slows your damage. Yeah, that's it back there, the engineer. Debilitating ray slows everything. It makes everything much worse, let's put it that way. So try to interrupt him as much as possible. As the tank, I would definitely keep your eye on him. Just interrupt him as much as you can. Let the DPS deal with the Draconoid man. Pretty, the range on that cone he does is pretty severe, so you really just need to move out of it. There's no way you'll get around it otherwise if you're not at least close to the mob. But that's pretty much it. Now the reason, like I said, the reason I showed you this trash especially is because it does seem to pull with the boss. I don't know if this is intended, if this is going to make it into live, but currently on the beta it does come with the boss. This is the Malkorok or Maloriak, whatever the boss's name was from BWD or whatever. But anyway, so there's two of these. Okay, we're just going to try to kill those. Once again, the engineer is going to get cleaved down, whatever that thing's called. Emissary? Emissary, I don't know. I can't read for shit, man. I don't even have eyes in my head. So we're going to try to kill those two because they're obviously going to complicate the encounter. If this is intended, this is probably going to be pretty difficult on challenge mode. Maybe, you know, heroic even as well. See the two lines there kind of crisscross, making it pretty difficult to dodge unless you're really ready for it. That's why I'm definitely recommending killing one first. The orc there gets kind of cleaved down once again. And then once you kill these two mobs, you're onto the boss, all right? The mobs, yeah, they don't do a particular amount of damage, but they eat up a lot of health, so you're definitely going to have to kill them. I can't imagine, unless maybe they despawn. Hey, that's an interesting thought. Maybe they despawn if you just kill the boss. Not really sure what you're going to do for challenge mode, but I would say just go ahead and get rid of them. You know, it's not that bad. So then you're going to take a drink, just like I did there. You're going to resume talking about the boss, all right, now that we are. The boss is going to have a few mechanics. I think it's percent based. He didn't seem to do them while we were attacking the Draconoids, so I'm going to assume it's percent based. He's going to do that cast, once again, the debilitating ray. Same deal as the previous trash. Then you're going to look at your macros, figure out why your macros aren't working. That's pretty important for the fight as well. Obviously, my focusing target macro is not working. But anyway, there's that. He's going to drink a liquid that's going to give him a lot of health back, all right? This needs to be dispelled. Unfortunately, I don't know how this is possible if you have it dispelled. I mean, look how much he is healing. He is literally healing for more damage than we're doing, at least currently. So, I mean, we had a priest, luckily. He didn't realize it at first. Obviously, first time through here, we're trying to figure it out just as much as you guys are, but I don't know. Without a priest, shaman, maybe druid, hunter, I don't know what you're going to do if you have no offensive dispel, but it does need to be dispelled. Maybe there's another way around it. Can't really be sure. Otherwise, he's just going to fill the room up with his green stuff. He's going to place it on players. Okay, so if you got a lot of melee, once again, it's going to really suck for challenge mode. As always, nothing new there. Challenge modes always never favor melee, but what do you expect, man? It's 5 man. You know, we just spent so much time. This boss is literally not dying. His health is actually going up because we don't realize we need to dispel. And I think that's a good microcosm of why this mechanic doesn't have a place in their game. Like, if you can't be sure you're going to dispel it, how are you going to kill this boss? Especially on challenge mode. I'm assuming there's another way to get rid of it that we just don't know of it. But at this point, the whole room's pretty much filled up. So I'm just taking him all the way over to the corner here. We finally, I think at this point, we finally realized that can be dispelled. Yeah, there it is there. It's been officially dispelled, and now we're just going to burn him. Honestly, I've done this a few times since, and if you can actually dispel that, the second it goes out, this boss has no health. He dies so quick. So that's something that I would consider thinking about. The Draconoids, just ignore them, burn them, and as long as you can kill the boss and stay out of the fire that they do, this boss can die very quickly. Of course, that's if they despawn. If not, then it's pretty much just a waste of time. But that's it for this guy. Not too bad, the mechanics, and we'll see you in the next hallway at least. Alright, so in this next hallway, this presents an interesting predicament, actually. I don't know, in the previous version, what am I doing with the camera? Jesus Christ. Anyway, wow, the camera's terrible in this area. Anyway, with the previous version, there was like all kinds of trash out here, and then on the inside there was more trash, and it was like, which do you prefer? This trash that like knocks you back off the thing, or what? I don't know. It seems like a no-brainer to me. It feels like this hallway is not finished because the trash that's inside, if you go in that first door that you come to, it's like 6 times. There's literally like 6 packs. Of course, if you come in here, it is pretty risky because there's a bunch of paths, but you're going to see here, I mean, this is just pro pulling. Look at the pro pull right there. And again, the camera just decides that it has no interest in being useful. But I mean, I handled this thing like Germany handled Brazil. Like, this is just way too easy. I don't know. It seems like the only way to do it, honestly. I don't know why you would go in from the other way, unless they plan on adding more trash. The reason you went this way was, it was still like a conscious decision. People wanted to go this way. It was faster, but they had the trash that knocked you back. So everybody had to, like, the tanks had to stand against them, the wall, so they get pulled, or they get knocked, and then they immediately taunt again. But there's some pretty big trash packs. You'll see like these big 4 packs. One of them fears, right? And then one of them knocks back. But what we did here, at least not in this group, but you could just stun them. So when they do knock you back, they don't move. And DPS, see right there, you get knocked back. DPS could just stay on them. No big issues, especially for challenge modes. It's going to be pretty important. Try to knock them back, or try to stun them right before they knock you back, or as they do it so they don't move. Pretty important for DPS uptime, maximizing timers, stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty much just, I mean, this trash does a lot of damage, there's no doubt about this, but it's normal, so we're going to reserve that type of commentary for heroic and above. It looks like K-Maz did get knocked all the way off, which is interesting there. So I guess it's like a frontal knockback. It makes anybody who's in front of the mob get knocked back, not just the tank, which is kind of strange. But here's a great, I hate this dungeon so much. This, I think it's a torrent issue on the beta. The mob currently that I'm fighting literally just goes right behind me. It just walks behind me for no reason. And obviously that's not intended. You're going to see how it becomes an issue later on in the instance, but it's a huge pain and I don't like it at all. But, you know, this trash is not, it's not too bad. It's probably going to have some more difficulty in heroic and stuff like that, but there is a lot of it. Unfortunately, I probably don't get a good representative of this whole room, but we pulled 4 packs so far in this room. These guys being the 5th, and there's another 4 to 5 packs of those orcs on the other side of this room that we pretty much skipped. So I'm not really sure. Maybe the mob count, you're going to have to do it. I don't know, but we'll see what they do to avoid this. Now these guys are pretty much the same reason the double Draconoids are an issue, because they can both do it at the same time, different times, different angles, because they get separated, stuff like that. So just mark one, which I do not. You see them both getting killed evenly, which is not a good idea. But you typically want to mark a skull, burn it down, and there we go. Gonna move on by them afterwards. There's like another pat in this room. I still can't figure out what's going on with this macro. It doesn't seem to be working. It's pretty good, you know, especially when you're recording to do this kind of stuff on screen. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna move on here. Okay, then once you're, you know, you've cleared all the trash, just gonna jump down in this thing. This is the part where you gotta fiddle with macros more. This is unfortunately mandatory. I don't know why this is happening on the beta, but you do have to do this in order to get the trash to spawn. So you see there, I just make a duplicate macro of one I already have, copy and paste the stuff in, and now the trash is spawning. So yeah, that's how it works, all right? It's pretty bizarre, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, this is very similar to how it used to be. This whole arena thing, it's honestly pretty garbage compared. They upgraded, you know, they updated this. There's no doubt this is a lot better than it used to be, the whole dungeon, but it still looks really old. They didn't change pretty much any of the tiling or scenery. Now once again, another something pulls. I have no fucking idea. That should not happen. I don't even know if we survived this, but It should not happen. It's just, this place is a really big disaster on the beta so far. I don't know how this stuff keeps getting pulled, but this is not part of it. Basically, there's going to be 3 wings here, okay? This boss is a true challenge because of some of his mechanics, but you do have time, just like you did in the previous version, to drink in between each pull. So if you're quick as a healer, after combat drops, you can drink, no big deal. I'd imagine this is probably going to be really difficult on challenge mode just because of the sheer volume of mobs. There are the ones flying around in the air, kind of shooting, like pew, 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 pew. You know what I mean? Doing that stuff. So that's probably pretty bad, don't you think? Well, regardless, the boss is completely fucked on the beta. Okay, so we do wipe a few times, but I'm gonna show you what I can. When it ultimately dies, I am offline and cannot get back in. And the footage obviously is thereby useless, but this is probably the best representative. We have wiped a few times here, so this is actually good. You'll see that when you do wipe on this boss, he does not actually immediately aggro. He's kind of just stood there waiting for you, which is a good thing, because if it wasn't this way, then you wouldn't be able to continue. And this was a big issue with this place back in Classic. If you ever wiped here, you had to do the entire thing again, which was not, no. So this, is much better. You're gonna see why this fight is pretty tough, and it's arguably not, like, it's just dumb. It's dumb tough. All right, you'll see what I mean. So this could only go good, right? Of course. Here we go. Watch this. Watch this as it unfolds. This is it. I'm typing. I don't even know who I'm typing to at this point. Just typing. We're buffed. Cleaned our slates, and we're ready to go, as Flea has once said. But anyway, so we pull the boss. There's going to be a few mechanics. First, he's going to start on his Drake, just like the Glyph encounter. He's going to, those ads that I'm hovering over up there, they're going to join the fight eventually, so I'm conscious of that. Got to get ready to pick them up. But on top of this, when he is a man, so there's a fucking moron already. This is why we can't kill this boss, because one pug we have is a complete idiot. He does this like thing of poison, and it pretty much kills you. There's the breath, kills the healer. So yeah, the frontal cone, we have this spinning axe Torto style as a mechanic, and we also have him charging random players. So this is probably one of my least favorite fights in the game, just because of this. That spinning axe thing is retarded. I don't know why Blizzard thinks this is a good mechanic. It's literally gotta be the worst mechanic in the game for any type of caster or healer. It's just stupid. It's dumb, it's not fun, and it's not easy to dodge, because it doesn't know what it's doing. It just does whatever it wants. There's no pattern, and you can't anticipate it. Also, the charge is another reason this is the worst fight in the game, because the charge is retarded as well. There's literally no way you could ever use a cooldown like a Divine Hymn or Trank here, because you're either going to get hit by the spinning axes, or you're going to get charged and interrupted and knocked back. So good luck, especially if you're a caster. This is probably one of the worst fights in the game. I guess this is what they're trying to say when they're trying to equate challenge mode difficulty for caster and melee. But honestly, it's just as big of a pain for melee, because now I have to keep dragging. Look, they're all over in that corner right now. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? They're just all over there. They're literally, like, those ones are trying to get out. They're literally just rolling against the wall. It's just so stupid. I don't know. I hate this mechanic with the passion, but do we actually kill him here? I don't even know. Maybe we do. I have no idea. But the ads come, and it just turns into a mess. Obviously, yeah, there's a charge. I think this is why we wipe. Just the healer just can't catch up, because he's keep getting charged on, and the mobs and all this. Look at this. This is just so still. I can't say it enough. I literally cannot say it enough. Yeah, so there you go. I'm dead. The axes are just too much with the ads as well, having to move from all this stuff. But that's pretty much all. The boss is like at like 1%. So whatever. What more do you want to see? You know what I mean? He dies, and then we move on. Okay, so we move on. We agree. All right. So the next trash that poses an issue. First of all, we're 4-manning again, but here we go. So this next trash we get into here. These Drake Keepers, I don't know what this is. I really can't figure it out. See, these guys, they don't even aggro. They just immediately go in here and try to open these cages. Now, the cages are interactable. You know, like, all this stuff is interactable. And I don't know if you're meant to try to stop them or what, but at least on the beta, they don't appear to be stoppable. You stun them, you open the cages, nothing. It doesn't matter. You can't stop them from summoning all these Drakes. So if this does have, I doubt this is going to be the way it is on challenge mode. I can't see how that would be the way it is. Maybe they're meant to be burned down quickly before they could open them, but it just doesn't really seem possible. Either way, it's a cool mechanic, and the drakes really don't do much, so I just wanted to show you that quick. You can kind of just AoE it down. This is en route to the beast, the son of beast boss. That's the next boss in here. Obviously, these types of packs, like in mass like this, are pretty dangerous for a paladin, so just keep your cooldowns rolling if possible. But yeah, we'll assume that that's not going to be how it's either meant to be done or how it's actually going to be executed. So this Dogman, the Birdman, you know what I mean? He's just a really annoying boss as well, just like the previous boss. The only mechanics he has are these fears and knockbacks. That's literally all I have to say. I hate this. I don't know why they think this is a good idea. Look at that fear. And just stand still. Fears me for no reason. Knock somebody else back. Like, what the fuck? Why is this? Are we in the Burning Crusade again? People always say, oh my god, how good was the Burning Crusade? Yeah, they don't remember this, do they? Because this was the most annoying part of 5-mans in BC. Fears, knockbacks, interrupts, stuns. These are not mechanics, alright? I don't care what you say about the game. It has gotten better mechanically, and these are not mechanics. It really is stupid. I'm not even going to show you this full fight because I don't want to give credit. This is a troll boss. You don't feed the troll, right? You just move past it. And then conversely, the last two bosses in this place are like some of the coolest bosses in the game. They're really, really, really cool. Alright, so this is like a Drake. I can't remember even the name of it. It's a really, really cool encounter though, okay? I can explain to you why. Basically, the boss is fought on this little narrow platform. You're going to see here, I'm trying to dissect the platform into two halves by standing in the middle of it. The dragon is going to fire, like it's going to breathe fire down one side pretty often. Alright, you're going to see that very shortly. There's some ground effects as well you got to move out of, kind of complicate the fight, but here we go. Watch this. They breathe. I see you. Yeah, so there you go. There's the deep breath. It's going to obviously kill the pets down there, the poor pets, but yeah. So you just got to be in the middle so you can move out of it quickly, but you don't want to be too stacked because the stuff on the ground is going to be in the way. And then the next phase is basically like two phases that alternate and then a final burn phase, which is pretty challenging in its own right, and I'll explain to you why. But the breath is pretty tricky. If you get hit by that breath, it's going to do a lot of damage, and it's like a flag. It stuns you or whatever. So you're going to get like, you're going to be like, Days, what the hell happened to me? You're going to be like, oh, no, oh, no. But anyway, so we only have 4 because that idiot Red Paladin left, and you cannot replace them. So this is even a little bit more tricky, but here we go. Big AoE pack coming down, basically part of the fight. These guys do a lot of damage. They actually, looks like they do a rend or something like that. And then there's stuff on the ground that's being fired from the boss as well. So this is high peril. You got to go full AoE. They can be stunned, rooted, snared, sleeped, whatever you want to do. I don't care. Then you just got to dodge the fire as well while it's happening. So it gets pretty hectic in the transitions, especially if you can't kill these ads quick. For a warrior, I did this on a warrior tank. It's actually really useful to keep a few of these alive, as the boss is going to do massive damage in the last phase. It's good to have a victory rush target, whatever, you know, impending victory if you're using that. But as a paladin, just kind of AoE him down. You got tons of AoE, just hit him with it all. And then avoid the breath. Pretty straightforward. That's going to happen twice, okay? I'm going to show you the full fight just for completion's sake, but it's pretty much the same from here on out until it lands again. The second set of drakes, or whelps, or whatever they are pretty they're not any different. They're the same. They do a lot of damage, and the reason it becomes complicated is because once this boss lands, he is going to start enraging. He's going to start getting a stack of damage increased, okay, with each, you know, maybe a few seconds or something like that. I'm not sure how it works. It can be dispelled by a hunter, but that's it. Another mechanic that we talked about previously that I just don't like. The fact that you cannot reliably dispel this with any group comp makes it seem like stacking for challenge modes is once again going to be a thing, and I don't like that. Here you see I'm just kind of eating the damage. I can't be ass fucking moving from that. It's way too much stuff. Now the Drake finally decides to land. This is going to be an issue. You see right there already has 1 stack. It's like literally a bloodlust icon on its character pane. It's pretty dangerous. Around 4 stacks is when I really started to feel it. I think Vic actually dies here, doesn't he? He might. But anyway, this is what I'm going to show you. The boss stacks this thing, and you just got to survive. You just got to CD through it. It does a lot of fucking damage. Okay, I'm not joking when I say that. But with only 2 DPS in the group, obviously you should be able to kill this before you know, you get the 5th, 6th, 7th stack like we may have. It does look like it's resetting. I'm not really sure how this even works, but all I know is it does a lot of damage, as you've seen right there. So that's gonna be the whole fight. Can't be asked. Just come here and kill it yourself, right? You want to see kill footage? Then you can come kill yourself, all right? I challenge you. All right, coming to the end here, final room, obviously. Okay, really looks cool. But what I do want to show you is the trash, right? The trash is actually pretty interesting. There's only two mobs. You would have progressed through the other stuff. It's all very simple, the same as it is. These 2 mobs are very interesting. Is that Rage Guard or something like that? I don't know. I'm blind, but the shockwave they do there, okay, that's gonna stun you, and you can see why this is a pain, right? So I get hit by this shockwave back to back. That's a Warlock ability. Don't worry about that. That's not. Oh, what the fuck? Well, that did kill me, but it wasn't the Warlock ability. Now, what happened there was, I get targeted and put like Sunder. What's it called? The warrior ability. I got it. Drawing a blank. I died again. Colossal Smash. Okay, so these guys are gonna put Colossal Smash on you, which is a 50% armor reduction. And then if 2 of them put them, you're wearing paper, right? You're dead. So watch what happens here. You'll notice the debuff in the right corner. See if I actually pull this off this time. There's Colossal Smash again. So I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I had 2 of them on me now. We stun them, but what could be done, all right, is you can kite them. And I don't know if it's intentional. I think they do get slowed when they put it on. But what I noticed in subsequent runs of this, and even here, I think you'll see it. Maybe it's because my hammer, but I don't know. I just run away. I have 2 Colossal Smashes, and I just run away. And then obviously I don't die. And you see how much damage that did. I literally got 1 shot. Like, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That was 100% of my health in less than 2 globals. So if they're going to stun you and they're going to do, you know, both of those things at once, it's pretty bad. It really is. So you just got to be ready to kite, I guess, especially in challenge modes. It seems like, you know, there's only 2 targets. So you could either just kind of keep them stunned when they do the blow. I think, honestly, I'm not really sure. It looks like, in the see now he's just standing there casting shockwave. So they're pretty kiteable. And I like this. This is a really cool concept coming up to the last boss. And then once the trash is done, you're ready to pull the final boss of the instance, which is High Warlord Zaela. You may have recognized her from World of Warcraft, a game we're all currently watching. It's pretty interesting that she's back. We'll digress on the lore for now, but what I do want to show you is why this boss is a pain on the beta. See right there, that knockback. This is a very interesting mechanic, honestly. This is one mechanic where the knockbacks actually work. It's literally intentional. It's to make you very conscious of your positioning. And you're going to see why this becomes an issue. I'm going to show you why on the beta, at least with Torrens, maybe it's not with everybody, but the mob tries to, the boss moves around. Like, it lands and moves. It's just a mess. And then there's the whirlwind. There's a few mechanics. We're going to go through a full pull of this boss, but you'll see here I'm just trying to be ultra careful. Super careful. You know what I mean? Really careful and not get knocked off, because if you do, you can fall off this platform, you can run off this platform, you can do anything you'd expect. The whirlwind obviously complicates this because she's going to move around a bit. Then you got to position yourself so your back is not too far facing in the wrong direction, basically. Pretty interesting, but unfortunately you're about to see why it is really annoying as well. No, god damn it! Fucking mobs moving around and shit. Now, Jesus fucking Christ, that is so stupid. Fucking boss like moves while it's attacking me. Yep, I agree. See, I was frustrated then, but it's even more frustrating now because it's a real pain. I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen. This actually happened back in like TOC, like in Wrath. But anyway, second half of the fight, these drakes come down and they complicate the fight even more. There's ads, gotta kill them, gotta use large damaging abilities to reduce their health. All the while, the Galacrast drakes are burning up the platform. It's not permanent, it's just, you know, if you're stood in it, you're gonna take a lot of damage. Constantly, it forces you to move, especially with melee. Another huge issue. Melee really get fucked in 5-mans. It's unfortunate, and it's pretty difficult to not get knocked off. You know, this is why I love this fight. This is definitely my favorite fight I've tested so far. Honestly, all the fights in Warlords have been pretty interesting. A lot more interesting than, you know, say the mob 5-man encounters like Hoptolus. Like, what the hell, that was a terrible fight. But this one is great because you really have to pay attention. The geometry, the square, you know what I mean? The fact that they're constantly bringing down like 1/3 of the platform makes you have to be very conscious. The group have to be very conscious, especially because what could happen is it could try to knock you back as the Galacrast comes out. And when that happens, like right here, this is a great example of it. Watch. Yeah, there you go. So luckily, if I backed up there, that's why I moved forward, because I knew it was coming. If I backed up behind the Drake Fire, I would have got knocked off the platform. So it's a very, 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 very cool mechanic. This is a long fight. Obviously, 4 people, you know, only 2 DPS. Regardless, it's pretty long. It's definitely not gonna, you know, it's not gonna take this long when you're doing it with 5, especially once you get some gear. Eye level 600 is that's pretty liberal. I don't imagine there's gonna be a lot of people. Well, I don't know, maybe 600. I guess if you don't get a lot of gear during questing, we'll see. What am I talking about this for? You know what I mean? We'll see it. Who cares? It's definitely cool instance so far. New builds coming out soon. Probably, definitely will be out by the time I have uploaded this. Very long process getting all these dungeons edited and stuff. So maybe there'll be a new one to check out. But otherwise, if you guys have any questions about this, yeah, I mean, feel free to ask. This is probably going to be a fan favorite just because, you know, Upper Blackrock Spire, right? Leeroy Jenkins. At least I have chicken. You know what I mean? That's apparently he's in here somewhere, a reference or a homage. I'm not really sure, but it's pretty interesting that they come and revamp these. And this is much better. You know, they changed Skullmance a lot. They changed Scarlet a lot. Those were good. There were no wrong with those. SFK, though, that wasn't very good. They really didn't change that. They kind of just added mobs and made it level 100 or whatever, not 85 at the time. I don't know. This is a real good change. I love this dungeon a lot. I love the bosses. I love everything about it. So you guys have any questions, you're going to go ahead and type them in the comment section below. From there, I'm going to read them. If I deem them worthy, I will answer them. If not, I'm going to ban you. So just be careful. Those are the only 2 options.